Hello everybody, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to the Country Peony Studio. And today I want to tell you all about some of my favorite scissors. So I'm a professional crafter and I take my scissors very seriously. And I also want to tell you that there is a specific purpose for each of these scissors. And I want to tell you which ones are my favorite and why now. So before we get started, I wanted to let you know that all the details are in the description below, and I've also created a blog post highlighting all of these scissors and also where you can purchase these scissors, because I think that's really helpful when you are working on your crafting journey. Okay, I love scissors so much that you might even call me a scissor hoarder. I love to collect them because they all serve their own purpose. And if you are wondering, yes, they do serve their own purpose. And I'm gonna get into that here. It's very important to use your scissors for specific jobs because it allows for the final project to be the best that it can be, but it also protects your scissors. This is Clover's Boudreaux Scissor 170. And if you are looking for a higher end scissor, I highly recommend a lot of Clover scissors. They're just great quality. And this one I use as a multi-use for my fabric and my fiber projects. So for instance, if I'm doing a simple fabric project, or I'm working with yarn, or I'm working with my wool, this is really my go-to. Or if I'm working with thread, if I am doing a larger project that isn't embroidery or cross stitch or something like that. So this is a really great tool for that. And then next up, this is Clover's mini patchwork scissor. It is so cute. And I use this for my smaller projects. So my smaller embroidery projects, my smaller fabric projects. It's incredibly sharp. It's got a really fine tip on it. And so I like to keep it protected in its sleeve. But this is a really good one if you do a lot of detailed work on your projects. And so I highly recommend these two Clover scissors. They're gonna get you into a lot of really fabulous crafting projects. Next up are these adorable embroidery scissors. I purchased these on Amazon. I honestly bought them because I thought they were super cute. So I just keep this in my embroidery pouch, and I like to carry this with me. Not only is the size fabulous because you can work with it on the go, but come on, it's so cute. So the quality is great for embroidery floss, but I would not cut yarn, or I also wouldn't cut fabric with these. Next up are these incredible Ginger fabric scissors. So these are a splurge, but they're incredibly heavy. They are incredible scissors. So you only use these for fabric. That's it. I don't even use them for yarn. And every time I use these, I'm reminded of my mother, who's an incredible sewist and quilter. And as children, the only time she honestly got upset with us was when we used her fabric scissors for paper. And so the same goes for this. You only use these with fabric. They are incredible quality. They're very heavy. They're from Italy. And so I will also link these below if you want to check them out. I actually gifted my mother some of these, and it was a game changer for her. They're just so luxurious, and these are a really great gift if you have a sewer, a quilter, or a crafter in your life who thinks, would love something like this. It's definitely worth the splurge, in my opinion. And then just a great all-around, all-purpose scissor are Fiskars. You really can't go wrong. Fiskars is such a good quality brand when it comes to scissors, and sometimes they have these really cute patterns on the handle, but the handle is really easy to hold. It's really comfortable. I personally use these to cut paper with, and then some of my other crafting projects, I leave my fabric and my fiber arts to the other scissors, but these could also cut fabric and so forth. Just whenever you do decide to have a proper fabric scissor, just keep it only for fabric. That really will help when you cut fabric later on. But again, I use these as a paper cutter. But Fiskars all around is a really great brand, and the great thing about them is they are super economical. And I would be remiss to talk about my love for vintage. If you follow my channel, you may know that I love to go thrifting. I love to go to thrift stores and estate sales, and so I'm always on the lookout for fabulous vintage scissors. Why? Because the quality is still there, and because most of the time they have beautiful markings. This one has a stunning marking on it. I do use it to cut, but I really use these for styling when I'm taking photos or videos. This is one that I found as well, and it just works so well. So the great thing about these is you can normally find really good quality scissors. I like to go to the craft rooms and the estate sales and look for scissors, but you can also, the quality is really good because they're really heavy duty, but they're also really pretty most of the time. And so I love sourcing vintage scissors, which is why I have a collection of a lot of scissors, because I'm always picking up vintage crafting supplies as well. So let's talk about care with your scissors. I personally have not sharpened any of my scissors yet, but it's my understanding that you can just use a sharpening block, like a knife block, to sharpen them at a certain angle. I like to just make sure if they come with a sleeve to keep the sleeve. That's very important. Normally your sharper ones will have those, or your more delicate ones. And then I just personally keep them in a mug on my desk so that I know where they are, because a lot of times my scissors go missing, especially when my kids like to come into the studio. But that's really how I care for mine. They're pretty easy to care for, but my biggest thing is to make sure you use them what their intended purpose is for. So I hope this little scissor show and tell was helpful next time you're choosing your next scissors for your next crafting project. And if you want to see more simple tutorials, DIYs, and more of my thrifting adventures, I would love for you to like and subscribe this video, and you can also check out the blog post that's in the description below. I've got more information about these scissors and where you can find them. Until next time, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for following along.